Sonny Gray was off to a great start. September hurt him. The team hurt him in general, but he was a front runner at the All-Star break. Sort of faded out. He's 14-1 this year, but that's not where I'm going with. Obviously, you got Chris Sale. Chris Sale could be traded at the trade deadline. Over to the National League, which would kill your bet. So be careful with taking him at only 2.5 to 1. Not worth it. Now you talk about King Felix. I think he's coming down on a downswing too. I don't think he has a great year. Keuchel, second year, coming back after all those innings he pitched. He doesn't exert himself too much, so I don't think it will be an issue. I just don't think he is Cy Young material this year. You talk about the Cleveland guys, Kluber, Carrasco, Salazar. If I was going to take a shot on any of those, it would probably be Carrasco, to be honest with you. I just think, out of the three, I think he has the biggest upside, to be honest with you. Very hard to hit, and could be very hard to beat this year. Obviously, all the sabermetrics love strikeout pitchers, and it doesn't always tell the story, especially when you're in the division against a Kansas City team that doesn't strike out much, and you're going to have probably 4 starts against them this year. But he has an excellent strikeout to walk ratio. Definitely a good dark horse, like Corey Kluber was before winning 2 years ago. If you guys remember, he was big long shots there. However, where I'm rolling with this one, strong team he's going to be on. And I think this is his breakout year. I'm going to go with Marcus Stroman from the Toronto Blue Jays, 28-1 right now. Really good numbers, really good odds on them. He's going to get plenty of games where he's pitching with an early lead, comfortable lead. And so the wins are going to pile up. The strikeouts will pile up and all that, You can ask any pitcher. When you're pitching with a lead, you're much more confident. You can take more chances to strike out. It's just a whole different game. Despite pitching in the American League East, I still like his chances. So that's where we'll roll with that one. Over in the National League, a whole bunch of big guns going at it. But I'm going to go with my boy. My boy who made me a ton of money since he started pitching down in Miami. I think he lost his first game in Miami last year. I think he was like 19-0 to start. Ridiculous numbers. Jose Fernandez, without a doubt, could be the best pitcher in baseball if he can stay healthy. Obviously, you get the guns from New York, and you got Kershaw. Arrieta, I would stay far away from him this year. Matt Harvey, I'll tell you guys this. If you put your money on the Mets tomorrow, you're out of your fucking mind, period. Plain and simple. Matt Harvey, as much as spring don't matter, Harvey hasn't shown me shit this spring. You know what he's shown me? He's shown me that he sort of has got complacent and he sort of took the spring off. I don't care about his little blood clots or whatever. Didn't look in shape, doesn't look into it. Not that he ever really has that, it factor on the hill, like as far as looking the part, but I'm down on him. Scherzer, I don't think he can put together a whole season. He sort of always fades out, sort of busts his nut too early. Strasburg, however, is another one at 12.5 to 1. I mentioned why. And so maybe take a shot with that. Another one I will give out. You get the matchup on Sunday, Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Adam Wainwright. Take a look at Adam Wainwright's game logs for his first few starts and his starts against Pittsburgh, but his first few starts of the season. Let me know how that looks for you, and then tell me if you want to put your money on Pittsburgh tomorrow. There's another hint for you out there. Either way, so that's where I'm leaning on those two. What did we miss? I think that's it. Okay, so that's it when it comes to that. Now we get into some of these props. Like one here, most home runs by any player, over under 44.5. Well, if Stanton stays healthy, he's going to do it. We're going to take him at plus 600 to be the home run leader. If he stays healthy, is fine. He should get to over 44.5. If he can get 700 at bats, which is basically a full season, I mean, he averages a home run almost every 10 at bats, which would put him right around 50, or not 10, but it's like 11.5. It would put him right at 50, which should be good. So I would go over there, but I wouldn't take the over 44.5 and take Stanton as the home run leader. I think they're both pretty much correlated. You talk about Batista. I don't think Batista is going to have as monster of a year as some people might think. Donaldson, perhaps, but we'll see. We'll see. He, in my opinion, is the best pitcher. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I forgot we got a Mets fan here. Donnie, nice value on Syndergaard. Yeah, I would go with Syndergaard over any. Absolutely. Manudu, are the Angels good to ride the beginning of the season? Well, I'll tell you this, no, right? But yes, depending on the play. They got a weird. I don't know why they did this, but the Angels opened up the season at home against the Cubs on Monday. However, on Sunday, the Angels play the Cubs in a preseason meaningless game at Angel Stadium. Why it doesn't count and why they're playing it, I have no idea. But they're playing a last day spring training game the day before they open up against the same team. Makes no sense. But you know. I don't know. I don't know. John Jensen, I took Arenado for NL home run leader, but will 5 dimes be around to pay me with all those stories out there? Yeah, well, I'll get to that too. If you get your money in 5 dimes, um, all right, I've been through this a lot. I've heard these same stories many times before. Legally, they don't have much recourse to shut them down. They can shut their businesses down that are associated with them where they're moving their money through, but they can just change them. They've changed them to Canada in the last year. Now they're changing their processors over to China. They'll just keep moving around. Legally, it's a real tough case in court to shut them down, period. What they did with the Amazon gift cards and weird shit like that, they shouldn't have been doing that. They've been getting greedy. You know, they're you're gonna have trouble getting money on the books, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get it. But I wouldn't worry about 5 dimes shutting down. I wouldn't worry about that. But at the same time, if you have extra money in there, start taking it out slowly. That's what I would say, But make sure you leave enough in there. I'm just saying, if you have extra sitting around, take some out. But that's that. So again, the home run, Stanton, or the 44.5, either way. The RBIs, I don't have much on that one. Most runs by any player over 121.5, I would take. I think D. Gordon's going to be on base a lot. He's got some power behind him now. He could be up there. You look at a lot of these teams in the American League, despite, run production being way down, and most of my other plays are fading some of these numbers. But I would take the over in the runs here. You get some guys at the top of the lineup, hopefully, that can stay healthy to get you there. Mookie Betts could also get there, too, if he's staying at the top of the lineup. Most hits by any player, over 208.5. Stay away from this one. There's only a select few that will get the number at bats, period, to be able to get up near that number. That's with a full season. D. Gordon, if he's healthy. But if not, you really get screwed. Much like we did on the stolen base one. Stolen base one this year, over 63.5 is at plus 100. We took this last year, and we needed like 10 stolen bases in the last 7 weeks. And Hamilton gets injured. Hamilton started fucking sucking and not even playing. And you get screwed like that. So I'm going to stay away from that one this year. This is one I really like. Doubles, over 51.5 at plus 115. I think doubles are going to be way up this year, despite... It's for a few reasons. One, because I think the home run production is down. Players are realizing that. And also, with all the shifts going on, hitters are also starting to adjust to that. And they're starting to be able to hit the other way. All this slew of young talent that's coming in can spray the ball all over the field. I think doubles will be up. Home runs may be down. One of my favorite ones of the year is this doubles over 51.5. Not to mention it's at plus 115. The triples over 12.5, it's 140. Probably a good play, but I don't know. But pitching, this is where we're going to hopefully cash in this year. Regular season, most wins by any pitcher, over under 21. This is actually the one that I think probably lands on 21. Bullpens are good. Okay, but we've seen how much emphasis the front office and everybody else is putting in on pitch counts, innings, production, all that, trying to save their big guns for the playoff push, which results sometimes in taking them out a little bit early, which could result in, Instead of leaving him in to go in for the eighth in a tie game, you pull him and he gets a no decision. I would tend to lean towards the under 21.5 on that one. This one, damn. And this is where you might have to shop around because Five Dimes has a bad number on it. And then in one of my locals, I got a good number on it. Regular season props, most losses by any pitcher, the number's 17. At 17, the over is minus 155. Now, in some of my other books, I get 17.5 at plus 120, right? I love the plus money. I'm not going to tell you to lay the juice on this one, but I think the over is a great bet. There's a bunch of Cincinnati pitchers that should go the full season that will probably, one of them should get there. You talk about the young Colorado kids, some maybe even Philly, Atlanta. There's a few teams that are really bad, and you look at the National League where it's so top-heavy that there's going to be a lot of losses. And, these are young kids that they're not going to send down because their win-loss record looks bad. I really like the over 17.5. Like I said, don't lay the 150 on any of that. Adam Eaton, a good late round pick, dude. Please stay away. If I could tell anybody to stay away from any player in MLB who's the most overrated production player in the entire baseball, has been for 2 years, stay the fuck away from Adam Eaton. Fucking hate him. Stay away from him. That's that. Anyway, but thanks for bringing that up. But do not, if you have Adam Eaton on your team, it's cursed. Stay away. You'll put him in. He'll get fucking nothing for you. He'll always seem like he's on base, but his fucking numbers suck. Oh, one of the most overrated players in baseball. Regular season, most saves by any pitcher, 49.5. I don't really like that one. Most strikeouts. The number's 276.5. That's basically right around the number. However, you look at Arrieta last year, Greinke, Kershaw, guys that can get there. Some guys for Cleveland. I'm going with the under 276.5, and I'm happy to have this number. I would have went under 265. Like I said, pitch count, innings, all that stuff, big factor into, even being able to pitch enough innings to get to that number. Now, I do understand that in baseball now, people don't care. There's more guys that strike out or hit a home run in the league. Look at Houston, Chris Davis. There's more of those guys being accepted into baseball, so strikeout numbers are up because the sabermetricians say, strikeouts are basically the same as groundouts, especially with nobody on, so it doesn't really matter as much. However, overall, like I said, there's more young kids that can make contact now. I like the under, but most importantly, just based on innings pitched, really. Same thing with this one, another great one. Most complete games by any pitcher. Over under 5.5. Again, I like the under. Now, when you're doing these bets here, okay, because I like the complete game under, I like the strikeout under, I like the wins under, that one person can blow all this up. We got to understand that now, okay? So if you're going to take them all, maybe put all of them in for one unit completely. But I do like the strikeouts more. I like the complete game under 5.5 for all the same reasons. They don't want these guys pitching complete games anymore. It's not. The game is different. These numbers have not adjusted. This 5.5 has been 5.5 for 10 years, all right? There's been no adjustment to how baseball has changed. Right? Same thing with strikeouts, all these prop numbers have been the same. They're based on prior years, and it's just not working out. So I like the under in that one. We talk about the home runs, and like I said, Stanton, obviously the favorite at 6-1. I like that one. And then you can get individual home runs, which we did last year. We had one guy. We took Nelson Cruz last year over, 24 home runs? He cashed it at the All-Star break. Right? Now, when these cash, usually you still have to wait to the end of the year. But I like to choose one that I really like, that I say, okay, this guy should do it, or this guy shouldn't do it, right? And go with that. So you look at Cespedes, all that. Let's go to the Arenado is up to 30.5. I'm not crazy about that one, to be honest with you. Look at Lucas Duda, J.D. Martinez, Miguel Sano, all big numbers here. Trout, Batista at 32.5. Don't love that one. Encarnacion, that one will be close. Crash Davis, don't like that. Goldschmidt, no. Um, I'm actually